done, and that's because we're in this moment because of the product we put on the floor, so we need to be able to continue to do that, and I know everybody's working really hard. There's a meeting tomorrow.
Just when you thought Caitlin Clark couldn't get any bigger than the WNBA, a massive bombshell dropped that has the entire sports world scrambling to make sense of what is happening. Because we aren't just talking about broken rookie records, sold-out arenas, or the massive shoe deals anymore. We are talking about a career move that could fundamentally change the way we watch basketball forever. Reports are swirling that NBC is looking to lock Caitlin down as a premier host for their upcoming NBA coverage. And nobody is happier or louder about it than her ride-or-die duo, Lexie and Sophie Hull. The twins didn't just congratulate her, they went on the offensive, praising her charisma and shutting down the doubters who claimed she didn't have the personality for TV. But if you think this is just a simple guest appearance, think again, because the implications of this deal go way beyond just a few minutes of screen time, and it signals a shift in the power dynamics of the entire sports industry. To truly understand why this is such a seismic shift in the sports landscape, you have to look at who is hyping it up and why their opinion matters so much. Lexie and Sophie Hull are practically Caitlin's unofficial PR team, but they are also her fiercest protectors. Since they started spending the off-season together, they've been giving fans a raw, unfiltered look at the real Caitlin Clark, the one the cameras usually miss when she is locked in during a game. When the news broke about a potential partnership with NBC, the twins didn't hold back. They made it clear that what we see on the court, the intensity, the scowling focus, the competitive rage, is only half the story. According to them, Caitlin has a magnetic, hilarious side that is tailor-made for broadcasting, and they've been hinting for months on their socials that she was ready for a spotlight bigger than just basketball. This move validates everything they've been saying to the critics who called her boring or robotic, and it proves that the people closest to her knew she was destined for media domination long before the networks came calling. But why is a major network like NBC chasing a rookie player for a hosting gig usually reserved for retired legends with 20 years of experience? It's all about the rights and the future of media consumption. NBC recently secured a massive billion-dollar deal to bring the NBA back to their network, reviving the glory days of round ball rock and the 90s era of basketball supremacy. But they know they cannot rely on nostalgia alone. They need a face for this new era. They don't just want old retired players talking about the good old days, or analysts who appeal to the older generation. They want the current phenomenon. By bringing Caitlin on board, they aren't just tapping into the WNBA audience. They are executing a genius marketing play to bridge the gap between the men's and women's game. It's a strategy to hook the Gen Z audience that follows Caitlin's every move on TikTok and Instagram. But it also puts a massive amount of pressure on Clark to perform with a microphone in her hand, not just a basketball. The executives at NBC aren't stupid. They see the engagement numbers. They know that a clip of Caitlin Clark simply walking into an arena gets more views than some entire NBA games. By harnessing that attention and putting it on their broadcast, they are effectively printing money, and the Hull twins know this. That is why their praise was so specific. They highlighted her ability to connect, her humor, and her natural presence, all of which are the exact traits NBC is desperate to capitalize on. For the longest time, critics, and even some jealous peers within the league, tried to paint Caitlin as a basketball robot with no personality, claiming she was too serious, too focused, or just plain awkward to be entertaining off the court. That narrative has been completely exposed as false, and the Hull twins are the ones holding the smoking gun. Lexie and Sophie have been posting content all year showing Caitlyn's quick wit, her dry humor, and her comedic timing, proving she can command a room just as easily as she commands the floor. Her recent cameos on major NBC slots, like her surprise appearance on Saturday Night Live, were the final nail in the coffin for the haters who said she couldn't handle live TV. She looked comfortable, she was funny, and she didn't crack under the bright studio lights, delivering punchlines with the same precision as her step-back threes. The twins knew it all along, and now the rest of the world is finally catching up to what they've been preaching. When Lexie Hull went on social media to hype up the NBC news, it was a vindication. It was her way of saying, "We told you so." It breaks down the barrier between the athlete and the fan, showing that Caitlyn isn't just a scoring machine. She is an entertainer in the truest sense of the word, and NBC is ready to give her the biggest stage possible to showcase that. But let's talk about the elephant in the room that everyone is whispering about: the money. Broadcasting deals for top-tier talent are no joke. Just look at the hundreds of millions being thrown at retired NFL stars like Tom Brady, who secured a $375 million deal just to talk about football. While Caitlyn makes a decent salary in the WNBA and millions in endorsements from Nike, Gatorade, and State Farm, the broadcasting money from a giant like NBC would dwarf her on-court earnings in a way that is almost hard to comprehend. Sophie and Lexie have hinted before that Caitlyn is a businesswoman first, and she knows exactly what her brand is worth. This isn't just a fun side hobby. It's a calculated power move to set herself up for life before she even hits her prime. If this deal goes through as rumored, she wouldn't just be the face of the league, she'd be one of the highest-paid voices in sports. Media, period. The Hull twins, who are also savvy with their own burgeoning content empire, recognize the brilliance of this play. They know that an athlete's career can be short and unpredictable due to injuries or shifting team dynamics. By diversifying into major network broadcasting this early, Caitlyn is building a safety net made of solid gold. It's a level of financial security that allows her to play basketball because she loves it, not because she needs the paycheck, and that makes her even more dangerous on the court. However, this golden opportunity comes with some serious drama and a scheduling nightmare that could backfire if not managed perfectly. While NBC is courting her for the NBA season coverage, the new unrivaled 3-on-3 league founded by Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier is also desperate for her participation during the off-season. There is a legitimate tug-of-war happening right now for Caitlyn's time. Can she physically handle playing a full bruising NBA season, possibly playing in the high-stakes unrivaled league in Miami, and hosting for NBC in New York or Los Angeles at the same time? It sounds impossible. The Hull twins have been supportive of whatever she chooses, but the conflict is real. If she chooses the studio over more basketball, the purists are going to lose their minds, accusing her of going Hollywood too soon and abandoning the game that made her famous. But if she skips the NBC deal, she leaves millions on the table and misses a chance to grow her brand globally. The unrivaled league is offering equity and high salaries to keep players home, but NBC offers global visibility. Lexie and Sophie are likely in her ear helping her weigh these options, reminding her that she doesn't owe anyone anything and that her health and future come first. The drama of this decision is keeping everyone on the edge of their seats, because whatever she chooses will send a message about where her priorities lie. Naturally, you can't have this much success without the backlash, and the jealousy is already bubbling under the surface. There is chatter in the background from other figures in the basketball world who feel like Caitlyn is being handed opportunities she hasn't earned in the media space yet. They argue that veteran broadcasters and retired players who have paid their dues for decades are being skipped over for the shiny new star who hasn't even finished her second season. But Lexie and Sophie didn't care about the noise. Their praise focused on the simple fact that Caitlyn draws eyeballs. In the entertainment business, attention is the only currency that matters. And right now, Caitlyn Clark is the richest athlete in the game when it comes to influence. The twins are essentially telling the haters to check the scoreboard, or in this case, the ratings. When Caitlyn is on screen, the numbers go up. It is a simple equation that NBC understands, even if the traditionalists don't like it. The resentment from some WNBA veterans who feel overshadowed is palpable, and this NBC deal only adds fuel to the fire. They see Caitlyn getting opportunities that they fought for years to get, and she is getting them handed to her on a silver platter. But what the Hulls are pointing out is that Caitlyn created this market herself. She built the audience that makes this deal possible, so she deserves to reap the rewards. This leads us to the chemistry aspect that NBC is likely banking on. If you watch the interactions between Caitlyn and the Hull twins, you see a natural banter that networks spend millions trying to recreate artificially. There are rumors that NBC isn't just looking at Caitlyn as a solo act, but is watching that dynamic closely. Could we see a world where the Hull twins are involved in some capacity? Or where Caitlyn brings that podcast energy to national television? It's not out of the question. The twins have proven that Caitlyn is at her best when she is comfortable and surrounded by people who get her humor. NBC would be foolish not to try and capture that lightning in a bottle, rather than sticking her in a stiff suit behind a desk with strangers. Imagine a segment where Caitlyn and the twins break down plays or roast NBA players' fashion choices. It would go viral instantly. The Hull twins are not just friends. They are content collaborators who understand the algorithm. They know what makes people click, and they know that Caitlyn's candid, unscripted moments are her most valuable asset. By praising her NBC potential, they are subtly suggesting that the network needs to let Caitlyn be Caitlyn, rather than trying to mold her into a traditional broadcaster. But there is a darker side to this level of exposure, and it's something the Hull twins have subtly alluded to in their defense of her. When you become the face of a network, you lose the ability to be private. Every word you say on air is scrutinized, clipped, and posted to social. Media within seconds. One slip-up, one bad joke, or one awkward interview, and the internet will turn on you. Caitlyn has handled the pressure of the court, but the pressure of live TV is a different beast entirely. The twins praised her TV readiness, but they also know the toll it takes. They've seen the exhaustion behind the scenes. Is adding a high-profile hosting gig to an already packed schedule a recipe for burnout? It's a valid concern that her camp has to be weighing heavily. The mental fatigue of being on all the time is real, and we have seen other young stars crumble under that weight. Lexie, being her teammate, sees the physical toll of the WNBA season, the bruises, the travel, the lack of sleep. To add a cross-country flight to host a show for NBC seems like madness, but Caitlyn operates at a different speed than everyone else. The Hulls are there to ground her, to make sure she doesn't lose herself in the machine, and their public support is a way of creating a buffer of positivity around her as she steps into this new, high-pressure arena. Let's dig deeper into why the Hull twins' endorsement of this move is so critical. In the WNBA, circles are tight, and genuine friendships that survive the competitive nature of the league are rare. Lexie isn't just a friend, she's a teammate who sees Caitlyn at practice, on the bus, and in the locker room. When she says Caitlyn is ready for NBC, it carries weight because she knows the work ethic involved. Sophie, watching from the slightly more detached perspective of a supportive sister and influencer, sees the brand potential. Together, they form a support system that Caitlyn relies on. Their public celebration of this NBC rumor is a signal to the fans. Trust us, she's got this. It cuts through the corporate speak and gives the audience a reason to believe the hype. It also serves as a shield against the mean girl narratives that sometimes plague the league. By showing that Caitlyn has loyal, ride-or-die friends who celebrate her success rather than envy it, they humanize her. They remind the world that behind the logo 3s and the record-breaking stats, there is a person who laughs, jokes, and hangs out with her best friends. That relatability is what will make her a star on NBC, and the twins are the custodians of that image. We also have to consider the impact this has on the NBA itself. The NBA has been struggling with a bit of an identity crisis in its media coverage, trying to find ways to relate to younger fans who consume highlights on TikTok rather than watching full games. Caitlyn Clark is the queen of the highlight reel. By bringing her into the fold, NBC is hoping she can translate that viral energy into their broadcast. Imagine Caitlyn Clark breaking down a Steph Curry shooting slump or analyzing a Luka Doncic step back. It's content gold. The Hull twins know this. They've seen how people gravitate toward Caitlyn's basketball IQ. She isn't just a chucker. She's a student of the game, and hearing her break down plays on national TV would finally silence the people who think she's just a product of hype. It would also give the NBA a fresh voice, one that isn't steeped in the bitterness of the past, but is excited about the future. Caitlyn represents the modern game: pace, space, and shooting. Having her analyze the men's game would be a fascinating crossover that validates the skill level of women's basketball without her having to say a word. It's a subtle flex that the Hulls are fully aware of. But what happens if she says no? What if the Hulls are hyping her up and she decides to focus purely on the unrivaled league, or just resting? The disappointment would be palpable, but it would also be a power move of a different kind. It would be Caitlyn telling the world that she doesn't need the media machine. The media machine needs her. However, looking at the trajectory the twins are describing, that seems unlikely. They describe a Caitlyn who is ambitious, hungry for new challenges, and eager to expand her empire. The way they talk about her NBC potential feels less like if and more like when. They are preparing the fan base for the inevitable takeover. They are seeding the ground so that when the announcement finally drops, the narrative is already set. Caitlyn belongs here. It's a masterclass in modern PR, done not by a suit in an office, but by her best friends on social media. It feels authentic, and that is why it works. There is also the Caitlyn effect on advertising. NBC knows that if Caitlyn is hosting, the ad revenue skyrockets. Brands that would never touch a standard NBA pregame show will be lining up just to be associated with her segment. The Hull twins have seen this firsthand with their own social media growth. Just being in Caitlyn's orbit raises your profile. They are witnessing the economic engine that is Caitlyn Clark, and they are cheering it on because they know she deserves every penny. It's rare to see friends in this industry who aren't trying to tear each other down out of envy. And that's what makes the Hull-Clark dynamic so refreshing and so vital to this story. It shows that women supporting women isn't just a slogan for them, it's reality. And financially, everyone wins. If Caitlyn brings more eyes to basketball, salaries go up, endorsements go up, and the entire ecosystem thrives. The twins are smart enough to see the big picture. They know that a rising tide lifts all boats, and Caitlyn is the tidal wave. And let's not forget the sheer irony of the situation. A few years ago, people said women's basketball wasn't marketable. Now, a female player is being courted to save the ratings of the men's league coverage. It is a complete reversal of the status quo. Lexie and Sophie Hull are acutely aware of this narrative shift. By praising Caitlin's move to NBC, they are championing women's sports as a whole. They are saying, look, our top player is so big, the NBA needs her. It's a flex, it's a statement, and it's something that makes the old guard of sports media extremely uncomfortable, which is exactly why it's so fun to watch. It disrupts the boys' club of sports broadcasting. For decades, the path to the analyst desk was narrow and gate-kept. Caitlin is kicking the door down, and she's bringing her fan base with her. The Hulls are standing right behind her, holding the door open for the next generation. It changes the aspiration for young girls. You don't just have to play the game, you can own the conversation around it. The structure of the deal is still a mystery, but speculations suggest it could be similar to what we see with Draymond Green, an active player who contributes to the broadcast. But Draymond is a veteran on the tail end of his career. Caitlin is just getting started. This dual role hasn't really been done before by a rookie superstar in the women's game at this level. The Hull twins are essentially hyping up a history-making moment. They are the hype women for the revolution. Every TikTok they post featuring Caitlin is a reminder of her humanity, making her more relatable to the NBC executives who are desperate for a personality that connects with the average viewer. They are showing that she can handle a joke, that she can laugh at herself, and that she has the charisma to carry a segment. In a world where athletes are often overly media-trained and robotic, the Hulls show the human side of Caitlin. And that is what NBC is buying. They aren't just buying the stats, they are buying the person.